bring back an old adage from other videos. I actually have not drank one of those in over a month. Actually, believe it or not, cutting down sugar. Still drinking Monsters one a day, pretty much. But I've been drinking the tea version, which has like this, for example, 60 grams of sugar, and the tea has like 4 grams of sugar. And the tea actually tastes pretty good. But we're gonna bring out the trusty notebook, and boy, what a week it's been. Alright, so I run off the spot market. Now, I've been pretty much running off the spot market. And with that will come challenges, especially as I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. And I'm pretty sure up until this week, so all the previous weeks, the 3, 4, something like that. Lamar, our broker guy, was giving me those. And it wasn't until I got fucked on Americold, where I was supposed to pick up Friday, deliver Friday night, and that lady took me out the list, right? And she pretty much told me to go fuck herself, but without saying those words. I said, okay, I'm done with this. I need to learn how to find those myself. And it was nothing Lamar's done. Lamar's a good guy. Nothing he did. I mean, he's chasing $2, like, so he has the same mindset, right? Chasing dollars. But I was done with the short trips at that point because I'd been running all week, right? I mean, it was still like a $7,000 gross week. Could have been $8,000, but that affected the next week because that load went from Friday into Monday, and then I only ran $2,700 or 27. Yeah, the whole week, $2,700. Not because nothing Lamar did. It was just the way I lost half a week pretty much. Instead of having the whole weekend, I could pick something up over the weekend, deliver Monday. I lost 3 fucking days. And you're just trying to spin in any revenue. And so, since last week was also that $2,700 revenue, right? It was pretty much shot. I said, fuck it. Let's end this week early and focus on next week. Because I'm already going to be in a hole anyways. It's not going to cover any expenses, really. So, let's just wipe that week, start off next week a day early. Alright? That's what we did. But this is also where I started picking the list. We were in Vegas, and I was on the phone, did a trailer swap. I was like, hey, how about we get a different scenery thing? And I was on the phone with them and another guy, right, in the company. Started talking, and I was like, why not, let's see if I can start doing this, right? And get different changes of scenery. Because this day shit's not working anymore. So let's get a different scenery. So at the end of the last video, if you end up watching it, we got a Vegas to Atlanta load. It was for $4,700. It was picked up fucking Thursday, delivered Monday. Ice cream, fucking great load to start the week. Get down there, tonneaued. Until I got, went to pick it up Miracle and Henderson, tonneaued. I don't know if it was tonneaued. They just said it's canceled. So, and for Tonu, whatever you want to say, for those who don't know, truck order not used. So pretty much means, yeah, $150 is all I got for that. So I was like, okay, so Friday, now we're picking up a load of Friday, let's see. And that's when we get to this. And what was it? It was baby formula out of, and the numbers I give you, by the way, are my cut. So the numbers I'd give you, keep in mind there's 11% more on that I'm not telling you because the company gets 11%. So this is really an $8,000 gross week, but my cut makes it like $7,300. I did pretty good because I picked all these loads except for one when I was on customer load. So we'll get to that. All right, so baby formula out of Vegas, Northeast Vegas off. It was over near Speedway. I think one exit past the Speedway, so pretty much on the edge of Vegas. 3382 is what it was for me. And going up to Wanamingo, Minnesota. And I didn't even know that was a fucking town until I saw this. I was like, where the fuck's that at? Middle of nowhere, Minnesota, in case y'all wondering. 30 miles deadhead. Technically more than that but my tonneau takes up the other deadhead. Because originally I was up in the middle of Vegas, went down to Henderson, so it's like 20 miles, right? And then, it was like literally like 50 miles around tripping to back up. But tonneau, that was for the previous trip, so the deadhead before was for the previous trip, so that's tonneau. So 30 miles deadhead, not bad. I mean, you're pretty much gonna have that. 1624 was a load of miles. I went the longer route. The reason why is because anybody who knows, going from Vegas to Minnesota, you're gonna take I-70. It's the shortest route. However, though, I didn't feel like climbing. And yeah, fuck. What was the weight on it? I think it was like 35. It was baby formula. I had one of those fancy seals. It was the first for me. That were one across. It went in both little door lock areas. The seal holes. Went through both of those. It had a crazy 8 across my doors. It's kind of cool. That was the first for me. So I went up 15 into 80, up into South Dakota, and that's how I went over. Caught some fucking storms, so lost a fuel mileage. Even my light load, 35,000. I think it was 28,000. I don't remember. It was fucking light enough. Right? This truck averaged like 7.8, doing 73 to 75. But that added on about an hour extra driving. But yeah, and that paid me $204 a mile. That was my cut. I had a load. Okay, so this was a Landstar load, and big rant in the Landstar. First it was great, right? First it was great. I get to the shipper. I sent him a text saying, hey, or he called me saying, hey, you know the shipper, what's your ETA? I was like, I'm literally right fucking here, waiting for them to open. Then I showed up like 20 minutes early before they opened. He's like, okay, I'll send you the pickup numbers, and he did that right away. Cool. Then I sent him a text. When I got 2.5 hours when I was loaded out, I was like, I'm going. Well, I was told this place was first come first serve for Monday delivery. Okay, fine. Not the case. I didn't find out until I got the shipper Monday. It was not first come first serve. They've never been first come first serve. There was 5 other trucks coming from the same place, all being told what I was being told. Right, Monday first come first serve between these hours. Right, and none of these trucks were expected to show up on the receiver side till the 10th. So pretty much Wednesday. So I got to sit around because I checked in at 7:30, and I told Landstar, the broker, this, and I got crickets. As soon as I told him the problem, he went MIA. So fuck you, Landstar. Do your fucking job. Considering the receiver says they emailed you multiple fucking times saying we are not first come first serve. Schedule your shit. And then also, since you told us first come first serve, and they are not first come first serve, you owe detention. Landstar should be owing me about $350 detention. Am I going to see it? Probably not. And it's not really worth the fucking headache of just trying to find them to pay it. If they pay it, cool. Doubt they're going to pay it. I started writing the brokers down, by the way, in here. So I didn't used to do that, so now I'm starting to. Because some places are going to make me start questioning if I want to go back with them or not. Landstar did say that was a new lane for him, so okay, fine. I'll give some benefit down on some things, but pay your fucking detention then. Pay it, asshole. But it was, I lost a load. And that would, well, okay, by the way, that ice cream load, I already lost $800. So the ice cream load, between these two, my cut, it was, actually it was like, you have a $900 difference between these two loads. So I already lost a grand off this week, which is fine. But, where was I? I was picking up in Minnesota. It was my load I had on me now, but I lost all of Monday because of this. But I had a load that would pick it up around noon in Minnesota, going over to Grand Rapids to Whole Foods, US Foods, something. I've been there before. It's off Clay Avenue, Wyoming, Michigan. Y'all, if y'all know, they're not a bad place. They have overnight parking. I do some fucking running this week, by the way. I've done 43 miles this week. So that's not some running, compared to what I've done. But for running, you'll understand why. I've had to do some fucking running this week. Thank God I have a faster truck. So I lost that load. So we got a load Tuesday from Hopkins, Minnesota, and that's like Western Mini, pretty much. Going to Weberville, Michigan. This load, this load. Yeah, and by the way, Minnesota's like under statewide construction right now, it seems like. So like nobody wants to fucking merge at all. So you come to a standstill like you make up 20 minutes and then you lose 30 minutes. You make up 20 minutes, you lose another 30 minutes. I'm losing time constantly, and there's like 7 of those zones. This load picked up like I said Tuesday, right? Not great. It wasn't bad, but it's not great. What was it? Oh, it was like juices, right? Because I picked up Citrus Systems. Not bad, actually. I had like 11 a.m. appointment. I got there at 9. They put me in the door right away, and I was out the door within an hour. Props. That place. Props. Friendly as fuck, too. It was, what was it? 28,000 pounds, I believe. 30,000, 32, somewhere in that range. It was light too. 1,400 hours of my cut, 1424. Deadhead, 62 miles. Like I said, I was middle nowhere, Minnesota. Load miles, 662 total for so total miles, by the way, was 724. And yeah, I do count deadhead. So these rates I'm telling you includes deadhead, because you should factor in deadhead because that is total miles. And that could be a fucking 30 to 40. I mean, it could be a 30 to 40% drop easily in pay, right? Depending on the miles. But $1.96. That was over $2. And then deadhead, it drops down. Delivered Aldi's. Oh, it's early fucking morning appointment. I don't remember. This broker wasn't so bad. Called me once to make sure I was getting loaded. I was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm just getting loaded. Okay. And then they left me alone. They used a tractor. Brokers, can we get into your head, right? You want drivers to stop being fucking morons and do stupid shit too. Cool. I get it. Both sides, right? We're morons on both sides. Cool. Then can, if you're being tracked, can you leave the fucking driver alone? Like, it's one thing to call me once, and I'm like, hey, no problems, right? Yeah. But like Landstar, by the way, they're track and trace team. I told them 4 different fucking times I was at the receiver. By the way, Landstar was tracking me 4 different times. I was at the fucking receiver. You guys didn't set an appointment, so I'm waiting to be worked in. I am literally fucking here, haven't moved. I got there 7:30, and they call me like 4 or 5 times a day. And then they call me literally 20 minutes after I got unloaded. I'm like, yeah, I'm literally fucking unloaded. Leave me alone now. Like, put it this way, I was there for so long. When the receiver called me, asked me, and they were like, "Hey, you still here?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, cool, we're gonna unload you." Because I was told probably it wouldn't happen until first thing tomorrow morning. Because I was like, "Cool." I was a little excited. It was funny though the way he asked that. But yes, please stop calling us after more than once. Like one's fine. One's a freebie, right? We get it. Especially like you're getting in from the morning. You don't have, because sometimes the trackers break or they get late behind. But if you see the driver's doing a shop, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. I'm saying he's obviously running on time. He's not fucking sitting around for hours at a fucking strip joint or whatever, you know. Leave us be. And then I picked up. I only did 3 of those this week. Picked up on the 9th. And it was a Holland, Michigan. 130 miles deadhead. Bummer. Like I said, Monday took some money away from me too, but because Monday that reload will put me in Grand Rapids, and when I pick up in Holland, that's 30 miles. That's a half hour. So and now it made me have to fucking deadhead an extra hour because that's the closest I can get. A lot of those loads are going to fucking Detroit, so I was just trying to get as far west as I could to take away some of my deadhead. But Holland, Michigan, 2-stopper, Hickory, North Carolina, Butner, North Carolina. Hickory was what? Fucking MDI. Yeah, I was just there too. I've gotten like no sleep the last 2 days. I've had to fucking move. Yeah, I had to move. Thank God this load was like 25,000 pounds because I do 752 miles to fucking deliver first thing in the morning, and then do. By the way, if you're thinking about 752 miles, that means I gotta average some pretty good fucking miles, especially when I go through West Virginia. Luckily, it's light. But yeah, Hickory and the Food Lion down here in Butner. My pay was, or my cut, $24.92. Not too shabby. Could have been much higher, but the fucking deadhead was $113. Loaded was 2 stoppers, so total loaded was $922. But the way I wrote it down here is I split it. 7:52 the first stop, 6 a.m. Also, I lose all fucking day today because now 6 a.m. for the first stop, 1,800 for a second stop, and I was out the first stop till like my I was out there at like 9:30. So could have got another load in today. I mean, picked it up at least, but whatever. Pick it up tomorrow or next week. But from between the 2 stops, 170 miles total, 922 loaded miles. Overall miles 1035, so 240 a mile. I think I did the math, $7,300 in my cut, and I averaged like 211. Not bad at all. It really was just that one load that really brought it down, and that was the Minnesota, Michigan. But yeah, 3,400 miles. But other than Lance Hart fucking me a little bit, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I don't remember what the overall rate was. I think it was a 215 was what I would have gotten off that first load, so I kind of lost some money, and I would have actually saved money too. But I've gotten some great fuel mileage all week, except that first day and a half. Coming out of Utah, it was windy because the storms were blowing in. Getting like, what was it, like 6.2. Plus there's like 7 climbs, right, coming out of Vegas and the fucking Wyoming. And then, you know, I did some driving truck and it was pouring. I had rain for 2 straight days, pouring. I've had rain for this way, 4 days, I've had it 3 days. But when it's pouring, you're driving a truck, you know, and it's getting any wind, your fuel mileage just goes down the fucking toilet. But like, for example, I averaged 7.6 from Michigan all the way down to North Carolina, and that's with some climbs and shit. I averaged 7.8 from pretty much Minnie all the way over to Michigan, and that whole loop from Wanaminga, Minnie over to Michigan, and then you did loop Michigan up. Yeah, I did 7.8. Not bad. And I was moving because I couldn't fucking dilly-dally this week, especially from Minnesota to here. I just didn't have time. I had to fucking move, so I was doing 75. At the speed of 70, I was just 75. I had a boogie. But I don't know. I'm learning. Like I said, this is my first week of like these loads I picked myself, except for the Michigan one because that was a customer load. Lamar just asked me could I get up to Michigan. I was like, let's do it. You know, I'll find money to get me up there. So it seems like I'm going back up to Michigan again next week. It seems. Don't know. Rates. I don't know how much. I'm trying to experiment a little bit because like right now it seems like minimum goal I want to hit about 6,000 to 6,500 a week gross. That's not what I'd like to be, but minimum goal, right? If I can average that, maintain that as my minimum average, cool. But I don't think my first week of me picking a load and using Lamar as my proxy, like I find a load, tell Lamar, hey, let's get this, right? Because they're kind of coaching me, right? They're helping me learn. So he's proxy, make sure I'm not fucking them or fucking myself. Cool. But I don't know. Probably gonna go back up to Michigan. Gonna promise North Carolina. We all know it's fucking shitty. It seems like $1.20 to $1.80 at most. So I'm gonna pretty much have the truck payment covered, but that's about it. Going up to Michigan. Truck payment and half of fuel. of the truck itself is gonna be covered. So and then next week we'll have to cover, or next load cover the fuel. But I'm thinking, what I'm thinking right now is do a little bit of looping around the Midwest. Unless I can find a really, really good load. Like I want to get back out of California to grab something going east because that's where some of the money is. But getting over west, it's bad right now. Originally my plan, I was looking at, I was going to go from North Carolina, Texas over to California to like Vegas, and that would be my week. Problem is getting west. It's like $2,000 from here to Dallas, right? From North Carolina to Dallas, and I don't mind deadheading a little bit, right? I'll deadhead for money, right? But from Dallas over to like San Bernardino, that's like $3,800 up there. It's like, fuck, nah, dude, that's fucking awful. Especially when by the time I get over there, it's gonna be like Thursday. I don't know if I can get another fucking, almost $2,000 to go into Vegas. Let's be pushing it. I can get 1,100, 1,300 pretty easily, but not. Yeah, so we're gonna probably go up to Michigan again. Maybe drop down to Missouri to get like Carthage. See what happens in the caves. I'll look in the caves because I'm also not just going blindly at this either. Like I'm paying for DAT load boards, all right? I'm paying for it. I can see the 15-day average, so I'm actually putting real effort into this because I'm serious. I want to learn. But for example, I had to look at it, like the way I understand it is I gotta, like when you're running the spot market, you can't just look at it from day to day. You gotta look at it week by a week outlook. Okay, so if I go from here to here, how's that gonna look? Okay, now if I go there, how's it gonna look outwards? So I'm looking at it like if I take a paintbrush, just did that, right? That's my week. I'm gonna kind of get general outlook. So I'm not just sending myself to an area before I check out. I scout it up ahead and be like, all right, that works. Let's do it. Even like for example, this load with Michigan, put me in Grand Rapids if I get it right. $1.80 load miles. It's like 1,800 for like 1,100 miles. Not great. Not great. But yeah, I do what we gotta do. Sometimes get to better areas. But we have a customer in Michigan, and they pay pretty good. Like that load I gave you, 2-step right, $240. Pretty good. So we're gonna see if I can do this 2 weeks in a row. It's gonna give me a lot more confidence because right now I'm just figuring out as I go. I'm also experimenting a little bit. Cause I'm like, I understand rates. See, the problem is too is like I know some areas are better for others. Like Florida, going into Florida is great. Coming out of Florida sucks. It's like it's better just to deadhead out of Florida even empty sometimes because you're saving more money than just grabbing $1 a mile load or whatever. You know, it's Atlanta. Like going into Atlanta is good, but it's not as big coming out. But it's not Florida bad. Like so, problem is the whole market's bad. It misconstrues the overall, like what the market's supposed to be. Then I'm trying to learn a market that's not normal. So I'm trying to learn a region, but or learn regional areas I need to be in. Like I don't run GCT. I know where some markets are, right? But I don't know what they're supposed to be at because this market's misconstruing what it's supposed to be at. But hey. How are you guys doing? You guys hanging in over there? Staying busy? You guys, what are you guys doing? How are you owner-ops doing? How do you think my first week was for actually me picking my loads? I don't think I did too bad. Yeah, it's still possible to fucking, hit $8,000 weeks. I know the original market, like 10,000 used to be the goal, but now it's like 6, 7, maybe 8. But 6, 7 should be doable. But hey, I'm profitable at 5, right? As long as I'm smart and I'm building paid at 5. So really, I'm just trying to get extra money. But hey, you guys are safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye.